Sweet.
It's the final countdown.
Oh, nope.
It was a good effort, Mark. But it definitely cut you out.
It cut you out real bad.
It was like, oh, is that a squawking bird? Sorry, we don't accept that sound here. You know
I
what?
saw Mark just cover his mouth. I'm like, he must be doing something, some beatboxing.
He was beatboxing.
So you heard absolutely none of that?
I heard like,
It's probably too high of a pitch.
I'm trying to hear you through the door. We couldn't hear you while the shower was on. What'd you
you
say?
know what?
Let me try to turn away from the mic and do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Kind of
So
looked
now,
like a bird right there. It was
Patrick,
like,
you can splice that together and make it work. Okay. Welcome, folks, to the Garbage Truck on Fire, the GMG Good Morning Guys podcast. This is our final episode of 2022, episode number 229er. No idea. I didn't even look. It's not. What episode is it, Mark? Tell me.
the last episode. That's what it is.
The last
Of
episode
2022.
of 2022.
That's it.
Not
Which
just period.
is
It's 2022.
Episode 225.
225. We should have started 2 weeks later in 2018, so then it would be 223. I don't know why that's important, but wait, 222. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Forget it. It still doesn't matter. Yep, it works. 225 it is. Yeah, I'm Lucas. I'm a transition ninja, as you can tell, and Brazilian mountaineer. And Mark. Oh, whoa, I'm going out of order. Dang.
Whoa.
Wow.
We've only been doing this for 229 episodes.
Yeah, but you know what? We're mixing it up. Mark's a dude who's got music in his heart, Doctor Who on his brain, and La Coretta in his stomach. That sounds weird to
What's
say
a
it that way.
stomach?
Stomogo. No, I don't know what's happening.
Stomogo. You sound like Forrest Gump.
Stomogo.
Oh, Jenny.
Who would like pizza and camera?
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. Ice cream.
Just saying some words in his voice.
Life's like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're going to get.
I
Move
got
on
to find
with the rest of the
Bubba.
intros.
Patrick Novosel, he is the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news and what happens when people tell you stuff before they're supposed to. Lurs.
That's spoilers.
All right. That's what I forgot. Yeah, so that's us. How are you today, Joiner? Who are you? Tell us who you are right now. We'll wait.
Do you like that episode of Blue's Clues? Or
You're interrupting, Mark.
Don't interrupt
This is
them.
interactive. This is the part where they talk. Okay,
Excuse me.
Joiner, sorry.
Go ahead.
Mark, okay, go ahead.
Before
Tell us
you
about
go
yourself.
ahead, let the joiner go ahead.
Yeah, go.
Oh, that's good.
That's great.
Wow.
I did not know that. Thank you so much for telling us, Joiner. We are all dumber for hearing your answer. Just kidding. We love you.
I
If this is
award
your
you
first
no
time
points.
joining us, you chose the wrong time to join the party, pal. No, seriously.
Have a few
Yep.
laughs.
Yeah. No, but we're getting into some post-Christmas, pre-New Year's improv. We are, of course, giving updates if we can remember, if our notes remind us or our photos and our phone devices tell us what we've been up to lately. We'll share. Otherwise, we're just going to go where the Spirit leads, whether it's the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of Jesus, or I don't know if we should mention any other spirits. We might
Spirit of vengeance.
Spirit, yeah, there you go. The spirit of vengeance, who apparently is here. So don't be afraid.
Or be afraid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, he's
we'll
just
be
a flaming
afraid.
skull. That's all he is. Don't worry about it.
Since we got two trees present with us, two big trees. Well, one that's
big
really
tree,
close
one
to the
little.
camera, and then one that's actually a big tree. Let's talk about Christmas, guys. How were your Christmases? Let's talk about Patrick's Christmas first. I want to hear about the judge jury. Judge jury.
So how was your Hanukkah?
I'm a Christian.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a Jewish Christian. Thank you very
I have
much.
friends that celebrate Hanukkah. There's nothing,
Messianic
there's
Jew.
nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yeah.
everyone has their holidays.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
So-
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
All right. So seriously now, how are you? Oh, Rayla wants to interrupt. Never mind. Hurry before she keeps going, Patrick.
Hold on. I want
Christmas.
to before I go ahead. Let her go ahead.
No, she's done it.
Now she wants to be quiet.
Now she's done. Now she's like, no, I said my piece. I'm moving on.
Yeah. So on Christmas Eve is when we have our Christmas over the in-laws, over Mel's family, and it might have been Tuesday of last week, and they're like, "Oh, it just came down with COVID. We're gonna have to postpone our Christmas celebration." And so it was Friday, and they're like, "Well, so that was her mom came down with COVID, and then her dad came down with COVID as well. Mild cases, so that they were kind of like no energy kind of thing. So, but that's all it was. They didn't need to go to the hospital or need to do anything. So it was just more of like laying around doing nothing, kind of thing. So that got postponed. We're not doing the Christmas with them until New Year's Eve. So that's coming up this coming Saturday. So we'll do that. And so on Sunday, which was Christmas, we wake up and it feels super cold in the house. So we're like,
Yuck.
Well, our faces are cold, our noses are cold, and Mel goes to the thermostat and it says battery low. And so we're like, okay, so let's just put some new...
your heating unit runs on batteries. Maybe you should upgrade that.
some D batteries and
some really big, like you put 50 D batteries in.
Yeah.
It's like it's a load bearing wall, but we put D batteries in there to keep it up.
Yeah, it's just a wall of D batteries. No, it's the thermostat that keeps the temperature whatever it needs to be. So we put in new batteries and it didn't work, and so it still said battery low. So Mel's dad, he comes over and he's like, hey, still getting over COVID, so don't get too close. And I'm like, okay. So I'm standing on the stairs while he's working on it, because this is the type of thermostat that he used to have in his house. So he knows his way around it a little bit. So he's like, man, I can't see this. Hey, can you hold this? And I'm like, wait a second, hold on. I thought we weren't supposed to get close to each other, but so I held it. He took it off the wall, opened it up, and there was a wire that was not connected. Somehow it got disconnected to the thermostat, connected it, and it still said battery low. So we're thinking that the thermostat had actually broken. So he's like, you know what? I still have mine and I was like, wait a second. Well, how long have you had your new Nest in your house? He's like, I don't know, about 10 years. I was like, and you still have this old thing? I am so glad you still have your old one, because it's the same as ours. He brings it over, hooks it up, everything is fine. The heat comes back on. Yeah, so it was only scary for like a half hour. But yeah, so I was very concerned that we were going to start Christmas with it being super cold in the house, which was not the case. It was only cold for about an hour. So yeah, Christmas went off without a hitch. The rest of the day, the kids had a whole bunch of gifts that they opened. The kids got us gifts. Every year they're at their school. They have like a little store for Christmas gifts that you can buy for your parents or loved ones or whoever. So I got some things from the kids.
Nice.
I got a back scratcher, which I've never had in my entire life, which is going to be really, really interesting.
Didn't you get you got to check out my back scratcher while you were here, right?
Oh my gosh. So I might have. Do you have the ones with like multiple heads to it?
Oh, this just had like a little red hand.
Oh, that's right. The claw. That's
the
right.
Claw. Yeah. It's like Phoebe's guitar hand.
Yeah.
Oh, the key of G.
Yeah. So I got that. My son got me two little small. I don't know what they're called, teeny wrestlers or something like that. And they're
okay.
he got in the pack came in two. One was a Triple H one, and the other one, oh man, it's up there. Oh, it's the Wolfpack Sting from WCW days.
Oh, red face.
Yeah. So I got that, and I got some other things, but those were the highlights of the gifts that I had gotten.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was good. It was overall pretty good. I mean,
Nice.
with us not having to go to the in-laws for Christmas, I did a lot of video gaming. And I'll tell
Very
you
nice.
what, I am all in on this Midnight Suns game.
Oh, that's what I
this-
like to hear. Card
this-
games, let's get going.
Oh my goodness, Midnight Suns is so fun. So it's a card game, but I would say maybe about 10% of the game is cards. Like the rest of the game is talking with your teammates, with the Midnight Suns, with the Avengers, adding people to your team, doing training sessions, upgrading cards, adding abilities to your cards, collecting new cards, and then editing your deck. Like I've never been into a card game more than this game. I think it's because it's more. There's a lot more of interactivity, not just cards. Like Marvel Snaps, it's just cards, and I just can't get into that. This is cards, but then there's also a lot of dialogue and narrative and just like these platonic friendships with all your teammates. Really, really fun. Also, with this game, there's so many things to do. I think there's like 6 different currencies in this game.
That's
so the more currencies you get,
Jeez.
So when you want to upgrade a card, you have 3 different kinds of cards. You have an attack card, you have a skill card, and you have a heroic card. And to upgrade each one of those, you have to have
I thought you were going to say
attack currency.
Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah,
I think it should have been a tick card, attack card, and a toe card.
Should it have been?
Yeah, I think so. That would have made more sense to me. Tick is with your head, tack is with your heart, and toe is with your feet.
I thought you were going to say a stomach.
Yeah, with your stomach. That doesn't make any
The
sense,
old
Patrick.
stomago.
Mine
the old
makes
stomach
way
go,
more sense.
right?
Yeah, I guess.
No.
I'll allow it.
But,
Oh, Rayla's chiming in.
yeah, we'll let her go.
She's done.
All right, she's done. She's done. All right, she comes in just to interrupt and then leaves.
That's Rayla.
So, yeah, this game is always something to do. And after every mission, you get these gamma coils, which you can upgrade with Tony, and he's in this like forge, and he helps you unlock this coil. And out of this coil comes 4 or 5 cards that you can add to your deck. And the more you get the more of that same card, the more often that you can upgrade the card to a higher attack level, or sometimes it'll give you an additional ability within that card. So some things like, okay, this is a quick attack. If you upgrade a card, it could also be a knockback attack. You can hit someone, it'll knock it into something else. If you upgrade it again, you can get it to where you're able to draw another card, or you can apply like damage over time kind of thing. It's like, so it is absolutely wild how much I am interested in this game. It's so fun with all the different things you got to do. You can send your teammates on operations that will it takes a day for that to happen. So you got to do something during that day, whether that's going on a random mission or going on a story mission or having Clark come in right now because the wife isn't here. So he just comes down.
Whoa, zombie attack. Brains.
What's up, buddy? I'm doing the podcast. How are you?
Hi, Clark. Wave at us.
Mom will be back at about 9:30. That's what he wants to know.
Ooh, so he needs to get as many yeses from Patrick as
I think it's like
possible.
one of those things where he wants to stay up as late as possible. As soon as he hears a garage, he's in bed.
He just runs. Jumps in bed.
She's here.
Everybody save yourselves.
No. Okay. Yeah. She'll be home about 9:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Bedtime 9:29 and a half.
Huh?
almost died from the salt.
Did you have some
My
water?
mouth was burning.
We'll grab some water. Oh man.
Mark. That's not Mark. That's
That's
Clark.
That's that's
another arc.
Yeah. It's Mark with a cull.
Oh, yes, that's
Markle.
true. Markle.
Yeah, so there's so many things that to do in this. It feels like it's very hard to stop. Like, just one more of these things. Let me just go over here, upgrade this thing. Let's just go ahead and send a hero on an operation. Let me go open up this chest. Let's just do a mission. Missions only take 5 minutes. Let's just go do this. Just like there's so many things to do. I played the game for maybe about 50 hours, and I'm not even 2/3 of the way through the game because I can choose not to go towards a story because it's just an infinite amount of gameplay loop, and you do not have to choose to go towards a story.
You got the bug, man. I love it.
It's so fun. Like, I've never played XCOM before, but I know it was more of those like the turn-based kind of gameplay, but you use cards, and I know XCOM never used cards, right?
No,
it was just
you just have abilities. And each character has their own set abilities. The one thing that you would not like that I've heard is not a part of Midnight Suns, which I'm very glad about, is with every attack you do, and it works both ways, but it's more annoying when it's you. There's always a percentage chance of failure. And so you go in, and depending on what you do, it can affect like, okay, you have a 50% chance to be able to shoot them or kill your enemy. Oh no, now you have 90%. And there are times when I had 95% or 99% and I missed. Annoying.
Yeah, okay, no.
In Midnight
this
Suns,
game,
you don't have that. It's 100%. You hit.
100% chance to hit. Now you have like there's also parts of the cards where it's like 50% chance of applying a bleed effect, which is damage over time, or 50% chance of drawing a new card. But every attack that you make, it's going to hit. It never misses.
Gotcha.
So yeah, really fun game. I've been playing a lot of the remote play on Steam Deck because this game is just it's one of those things where
for that.
Yeah, you don't need to pause because if it's your turn to move, or if you're in the home base or whatever, you just leave it on. You don't have to pause it or anything.
This is bizarre, man. You're playing a turn-based card game.
No, but I think it has to do with the Marvel. It is definitely 100% Marvel. And
the extra stuff too, like the conversations. I've heard the VO is, except for your character, the VO is pretty good for the main character is the Hunter. He's voiced by you can either choose to be male or female at the beginning, and Matt Mercer is the VO for the male version.
Nice.
And the Hunter, the story of it is the Hunter's mom gets woken up by Hydra, and so the Midnight Suns bring back to life that villain's daughter or son or whatever, to build like this team to counteract this mom being this supervillain, and so he's been dead for like centuries, and so. When he wakes up, he has no idea of the new. It's kind of like Captain America. He was in ice for 80 years or whatever it was, and then multiply that times 5, and this is how old this guy's been asleep. So he has no idea what is going on in the world it is today, technology it is today. So he has this voice of like a 16th century kind of like proper guy. So the way he delivers it is very monotone, very stoic, but it's kind of it's awful and it's awesome at the same time. It's awful because it's the same like Ben Stein, kind of delivery. But when he delivers like a joke or being sarcastic or delivering some sort of line, it makes it hilarious.
It's so dry.
It's so dry, and the team doesn't know how to respond to it. And so, yeah.
At least they lean into it.
He did. Definitely leaned into it.
It's not like in Mass Effect where sometimes, what's his face? What is the main character's name? His voice. Shepard can be a little uninteresting, and people are like, "We love you. You're so fascinating and wonderful."
It's like,
Except you're
no.
not.
Except you're vanilla. You're the only character that's not interesting in this whole game.
Womp womp.
But I digress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic game. The gameplay is really, really fun. The graphics and the cinematics when you do like a bigger value card. One for example, the Spirit of Vengeance, Ghost Rider. He has it's like the son of Johnny Blaze or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure the relationship between the two. But Johnny Blaze, he has that bike, he has that motorcycle, and this character, Robbie Reyes, has a car. So when he brings in his car in one of the higher value cards, just everything's on fire. The car comes in and just obliterates the entire whoever you chose to attack.
Right.
Really cool, really well done. Dialogue is great. The voiceover outside of the hunter is fantastic. There's a couple things that I'm not particularly keen on. Is you can't pause the game during dialogue or cutscenes. So you have to let it go. Like even in like just normal cutscenes, when you're going dialogue back and forth, choosing your answers or what you want to talk about, you can't pause during that time. Yeah, so that's a little weird that you can't do that. The other thing is the graphics. It's very slick graphics, but it looks like a PS3 game that was remastered. It was just would put a 4K gloss on it, and then that's about it. So it is a little, but it's fine. I mean, after playing it for like 50 hours, that is the least of my worries because I'm having so much fun doing all this other stuff.
Good.
That's awesome, man.
It definitely crept into my top 10 for 2022 for sure.
Look out.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Or not snap.
No snap.
No snap.
I did. So this past week I did play a couple matches of Marvel Snap.
You're welcome.
And I was like, this isn't Midnight Suns.
That is also
and
true.
Marvel Snap is like, hey, come back. You need to upgrade your Hulk card. It needs a smash. I'm like,
no, I don't.
Clear.
Turn off notifications. Muted.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
So that's what all I've been doing this past week is Midnight Suns. And now, again, my wife is not here. My other kid decides to come in.
It's like you're having guest stars on your television.
She is so sassy right now. For those who are listening, she got her hands on her hips and just staring at her father like, you better stop everything because I've got things to say.
Yeah. Oh, she's got the floor now. So what's up?
Okay.
Bro, I have a headache and I took medicine
Bro.
for like hours.
My daughter calls me bro too.
What's going on?
I don't know. Is mom's face mask in the refrigerator?
I don't know, but how am I supposed to watch TV?
Put it over your forehead.
Okay.
Try that. Hopefully that'll work for you.
I don't know. Well, what do I do if it's not in there?
Bro, it's probably in there.
Okay.
Yo, bro. You can do it. We believe in you.
Bruh, seriously.
Bruh. Come on. Bro,
This episode should be called Novosel Family Crises. This is like your kids. Who's going to come in next? I think Ellie's going to come in.
Ellie's going to come in like, ruff, 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 ruff. Like,
and
yeah,
then just
okay, you
pop
want to
a
go
squat
outside?
and then poop right in the middle of your man cave.
I wouldn't be mad at that because how the heck did she open the door?
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes you just don't get your questions answered. Just let it happen.
Yep.
So yeah, Midnight Suns. Right now, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. We'll find out what the final score is after I beat the story, if I ever get to the end of the story, because like there with the game, there's friendship levels, and you start at level 0, and the max friendship level is 5. So after you do things with them, you continue to increase their friendship level. And so now I've added Wolverine to my team, and he's currently at 0. And then I just did a story mission, and now Wanda's part of my team, and I'm like, man, I gotta get their friendship levels to level 5 now. I can't I can't let them sit there. So I gotta all right, story. I'm gonna push you off to the side. I'm gonna do all these other things.
Got to work on my friendship with Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working on everybody that starts with W?
The higher
Wolverine,
the higher the friendship, the better the cards they have. So that's another
There you go.
kind of incentive to increase the friendship level.
There you go.
Well, I was personally borderline on this game. I went back and forth. I was like, I don't know. And then honestly, I was leaning on the side of avoiding it because I heard that it takes so long to finish the story. But the way you're making it sound, I don't know. I might have to
see. It's
keep my eyes
weird because I was like, I'm usually just like a straight story. I really don't care about side quests unless it's a really, really good game. So for me to actually not want to do this, because it's, I mean, on paper, I'm talking about making friends with my teammates and collecting cards and upgrading cards, and it's really not only 10%. You're in combat. It sounds awful, but while you're doing it, it is one of the most ADD centered kind of games for me, where I'm like doing one thing after the other. Each thing I'm doing only takes like a minute, and just it's really, really fun. I would definitely recommend at least giving it a try.
For sure.
Gamefly.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's where I got it. I got
that's
it.
What you're doing. Yeah, getting your money's worth.
I definitely am.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm more on the side of avoiding it just because, I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea. But then again, it wasn't really yours either. So
no, it's not mine at all. The only thing is, it's Marvel. Marvel is like, okay, I'm going to try anything Marvel.
Yeah.
And so, but the way I've been playing it, like I said, I've been playing on my Steam Deck. I've been carrying it around. This definitely feels like a mobile game. It's got the mobile kinds of gameplay, the tropes of mobile games, where it's like, do this one thing, and then a day later, come back and do something more. So it's got that feel to it. So being able to walk around while I'm doing remote play on my Steam Deck, it really does help me get into the game a little bit more. If I was sitting in front of my TV playing this game, I think I might have a different sense for this game. I think I might have been like, okay, I'm done with this. But being able to carry it around, I think that's what is bringing me back more and more for this game. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, Marcus, your Christmas, my friend. What'd you get in the present realm? What have you been gaming during the holidays or Kwanzaa, whatever? Whatever floats your boat.
Yes, I'm all about the Kwanzaa.
Awesome.
No, so in terms of gaming, it's been real light, except for one game that recently came out on Game Pass, and that is High on Life. Which if you are into Rick and Morty and that style of humor, this game is absolutely for you, because it is much, much more of that. It's that Rick and Morty sort of awkward humor where, like, I don't know what it is, but like every one of Justin Roiland's characters either sounds like Rick or Morty or a variation of one of the two. They all have that awkward humor where it's like this repetitive, they repeat the joke over and over and over again. So like there's this one scene, but the game is very self-referential. If you're not familiar with it, you're basically, you're a human, and all of a sudden your Earth gets attacked by these aliens, and you come into the care of one of a race of guns. They're called Gatlians. They're sentient guns that all have different abilities, and you basically have to go around collecting these different types of guns and trying to stop this evil alien cartel. And the main gun, the first one you get, he literally sounds like Morty. And there's like this scene where you come up against this character who is supposedly a kid, and you keep trying to pull the trigger, and the character's like, I don't want to shoot him. I don't know. I'm not gonna kill him. And then you finally end up actually killing. He's like, are you happy now? You killed a kid. A kid is dead. I didn't think we could do that in a game, but it happened. It's dead. Are you happy now? It's like that same sort of awkward repeating humor is the same kind of thing. Like it's funny, and it definitely has a lot of funny scenes to it, but it is very, very vulgar. Like the F bombs are absolutely flying in this game.
Yeah, I was not expecting this when I started to play High on Life. I was like, wow, this is the language for this game is whoa. Like this is a lot. But it's funny though. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this game and the dialogue. Like it doesn't feel like it's forced language. It just feels like it's natural part of it. There's a part where you're trying to find a bounty hunter, and it's really early in the game, and you're trying to talk to someone, and they say, no, I don't know where he is, but they continue talking. And so I turned away and started to walk away, and the guy was like, well, screw you then.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's very like they're very self-aware. Very natural, because he didn't just continue. Because sometimes when you're doing dialogue with an NPC, you walk away. They're still continuing to tell, say their line.
Yeah.
But no, he like cut it off. He's like, well, screw you then.
It's like, oh, okay, I guess we're done talking.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I love the self-referential humor that's in the game though. Like if you from the very, first part of the game, where you first get the first gun in the game, he's like, quick, you need to use me, and you need to kill those aliens over there. You need to shoot that. And if you pause the game while that dialogue is going on, and then unpause it, and all of a sudden the gun will react and be like, are you kidding me? That you don't use the pause button to shoot? Have you ever played a game before?
Yeah, that is awesome.
So it's very, very self-referential humor. At times very, very vulgar humor. Definitely not for kids. But it's a fun little first-person shooter. The different guns have different abilities, which make platforming and everything pretty fun. But you're gonna have to cover your fragile little ears. Or don't play if you're not into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
But no worries there.
Yeah.
Glad you guys like it.
Again, this is the type of game where I feel there needs to be an accessibility option to censor dialogue.
Yeah.
To censor these kinds of words.
How would they talk? It would be like, hey, you
if they throw
it would be like listening.
Sometimes bleeps are much better.
Yeah,
That's
because
true.
Rick and Morty does that. They bleep out some of the words you can't say.
I think there was a game that come out. I think it was Trover's Universe, where they had a censored version.
Oh, really?
So you could actually play it censored.
I'd love that. I would totally play that. I would love an 80s, 90s version where they like fill in with really cheesy words. Like, you flingin' flangin' stinker pants.
Yeah.
Just something.
You can actually turn it's not necessarily a censored version, but you can limit how much the guns talk to you in the game. You can there's like a toggle volume, toggle level for that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much that affects things, but I mean you're probably still going to hear cussing and stuff like that. But
yeah.
But otherwise, I mean the game's fun. And gets pretty funny at times, but that's been pretty much what I've been playing in terms of gaming stuff. It's been real light on gaming. I did play a little bit of Fortnite as well, but that's been pretty much it for gaming side of things. But Christmas, so Christmas Eve, went to my in-laws' house Christmas Eve morning, and we had our Christmas then.
Did you show up at like 7 a.m. and we're like, hey, there's presents under the tree. Let's open them. Let's go.
It's Christmas. No, absolutely not.
Missed opportunity.
Well, maybe to some, but for others like this guy, no. We were there at like 9:30. But
did you buy any shoes for Christmas?
I wanted to buy these shoes, but I did not.
Mm.
I did not. I think getting ready for our Christmas special was the most I ever actually heard Christmas shoes this season, which is fine with me.
Isn't there a GMG Spotify playlist with Christmas shoes just on repeat?
I think there is.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Look
I don't know if it's necessarily on repeat. You know what? I should go ahead and make it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. But yeah, so we went over to my in-laws house on Christmas Eve morning and had our opening of presents then. Got several shirts which I needed, gift cards, money, other sorts of little trinkets and stuff. Trying to think what else I got from my in-laws, but yeah, no, it was a great time. We had breakfast there, had a lot of fun, watched everybody open presents, and then went home for a little bit, did some errands and stuff, and then turned around and had to go to Kristen's extended family for their Christmas Eve dinner, where we, of course, had food, lots of yummy food, and I got some more money, which was awesome. And then Christmas, we actually had church on Christmas morning. So I had to go and lead worship at church and everything, which was a good time for sure. And then Christmas evening, went to hang out with my side of the family, and had more yummy food there and hung out with the family there, which was a good old time. Watched a fair amount of Christmas movies and shows and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The only ones that I haven't watched, and we have decided we're going to keep, I mean, obviously we're keeping the decorations up, but we're going to keep watching Christmas movies and keep listening to Christmas music until New Year's. Because typically we leave the decorations up, but we kind of stop everything else. But I was like, this went by way too quickly, and so Kristen and I both agreed we're just gonna kind of keep it going. We want to watch Violent Night. That has not happened yet.
So I didn't mention that,
Yeah.
but my daughter and I watched Violent Night this past week, and my gosh, it's gruesome, but it is hilarious.
Yeah.
David Harbour as Santa Claus, he's fantastic. So I don't want to say anything more other than I laughed way more than I should have in this movie. One, because it's just the concept and the premise of the story is just so crazy. You know, John Leguizamo is the bad guy. Santa Claus is there to save the day. Seasons beatings, as it were, you know. So it is a funny, hilarious movie where I thought it was like, feels like it's kind of like Home Alone a little bit, and then someone had made the connection of saying it's like 50% Die Hard, 50% Home Alone, and I'm like, that is a good, very high level synopsis of this movie.
And that, I mean, I kind of wanted to watch this anyways, but that sold me on it because I very much enjoy both those movies. One of them is literally my favorite Christmas movie. So
yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to check that out. We'll probably do that sometime this week, if not on New Year's Eve, probably. But yeah, we're keeping it going, and I have also made the decision. And joiners, fellow GMG crew, just remind me of this next year. We're gonna start Christmas early next year. We're gonna do it well before Thanksgiving.
What?
Yeah.
Rule breaker.
Yeah.
You've turned a new leaf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was like,
one of us. One of us.
One of us.
Because I was like, man, this season goes by so fast, and like I feel like I don't really get to enjoy it for that long. And it's like I got the real holiday blues. Like even like on Christmas Eve, I'm like, man, tomorrow's Christmas.
It's over.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna start it earlier next year.
How early? What are we thinking?
A week before
A
Thanksgiving?
week's not enough. Say November and December, 2 months of Christmas.
November 1st.
Yes. Let's
I
all
will
do
remind,
it.
I will
I'm
remind
gonna
you
talk
in
to my
July.
family.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Be like July. Every podcast from July through October is
Actually,
So
you
you're gonna
have
put your Christmas decorations up, right? Huh?
you have permission to do Christmas in July and June, or June and July, because that's when we're visiting, and that's what we're doing Christmas with some of my family then. So
Oh, hold up. So you're visiting?
oh yeah, hey guys, I'm visiting in June and July. I don't know when in June and July, but I'll be around.
So you need to let us know when that happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start earlier next year for sure. But and then we kept it going with the family. We went to see some lights last night with Kristen's family. Went out to La Coretta, of course, and then which wasn't really Christmassy, but then we went and went to this light show that is in the next town over that is in its final year. They've decided to stop doing it.
Pull the plug.
Yep, literally.
Yeah.
And so we had to go see it before because they're doing their show until New Year's Day. So we wanted to go see it before they pulled the plug forever.
Gotcha.
But but yeah, that's been pretty much my Christmas holiday. Got a lot of money and gift cards and stuff, which have not decided what I want to.
Yeah, that's always the thing you think about. Like, okay, I got this. Cool, I got free $25 or something, and then it sits there for like 6 months because you don't want to spend it, and you want to spend it on something really good.
Well, I've got about $200 in money and gift cards. Yeah,
Midnight
Hey.
Suns.
I don't know if I want to spend the money on that.
I'm sure
Deluxe
that's gonna,
edition.
it's. I feel like because it got not very good reviews, and doesn't sound like a lot of people are playing it. I feel like it's going to be on discount here soon. So if you hold out,
yes, brother.
Well, I'll gameplay it because I have.
But I have a question for you. What movies outside of Violent Night are you going to watch between now and New Year's? What's on the docket?
Well, we did not watch one of my other, not favorites, but I can't remember if I put it on my list. I think it's on my top 10. It's definitely on my top 10.
Yeah.
The Polar Express. That did not happen. Yeah, I know.
It's my least favorite.
It's my
Christmas
bottom
movie.
10.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
It sucks because it's outside of the annoying little kid. It's not a bad movie, but it hurts my ears so much hearing that little kid. I can't watch the movie. Like my son's like, "Can we watch Polar Express?" I was like, "You can watch Polar Express with the family, and I am out because I can't do it."
I get it, but I'm just so used to him being Mandark from Dexter's Lab, and he was also in the movie Grease. He was the nerdy guy from Grease. So I'm used to hearing his voice. Now, is it jarring compared to the other actual little kids? Sure. I don't know why they couldn't just find a nerdy kid, but
Yeah.
but I guess Eddie Deason was it.
They turned it up to 11 to like, hey, can you be annoying? I sure can.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? But no, it's actually funny because apparently in the Polar Express, if you pay attention in one of the scenes where there's like a whole bunch of elves walking through, somebody posted it on TikTok. There is an unanimated elf that's just kind of floating.
Really? That's hilarious.
It's like,
Oh,
really?
geez.
Y'all couldn't take the time? But otherwise, I mean, I love that movie. I love Tom Hanks and the different characters he plays in that movie. But that's me.
He plays like 6 different characters or something like that. Maybe
Something
more.
like that. But yeah, Polar Express. Thought about watching maybe Fat Man. I have not seen that.
So that's the kind of the same adult Santa Claus type of movie, like Violent Night is, but Mel Gibson as Santa is really good.
Yeah. I'm not sure what else we'll have to. Oh, we didn't watch The Grinch either.
Which one?
The Jim Carrey Grinch.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, we did not watch that Christmas season, so we'll try to watch that this week.
Okay, cool. All right.
But that's pretty much it for me.
All right.
Cool.
Lucas with an L.
Well, real quick, I want to add an addendum here to go along with the Christmas movies, because I did watch two that I want to highlight.
Okay.
And the reason I want to highlight one of them is, I guess both of them have been talked about on the show a bit. One of them definitely has, and that's Home Alone 2. So every year we each member of the family, me, Mindy, Natasha, and James, pick a movie to watch. And it's gotten to the point where we pick the same 4 movies. Like maybe one kid will just come out of left field with a different one. Usually it's Tasha. I think one year she chose Frozen 2 as her Christmas movie, and we're like, I guess there's snow in it, so sure. But this year we were like, you know what? We're going to double or nothing. So you can pick one new movie and one old movie. And so we let James go first, and he picked Home Sweet Home Alone.
Oh, no.
This was not a good way to start the Christmas season. That movie was abysmal. Like it would have been straight to DVD, straight to VHS back in the day.
Coming straight home to DVD.
Now coming straight to the
VHS.
trash can.
And now it is funny. Now you hear exclusively in cinemas. It's like
Exclusively in the
seriously?
garbage.
But that movie was trash. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. So we watched that, and we were talking during breakfast the next day, and I was just like, you know what, kids, we got to watch a real Home Alone movie.
So who picked Home Alone? Oh, Sweet Home Alone.
James.
Okay. Did you let him have it? Did you be like, this is your one? Everyone gets one, and then. Now if you do it again, veto powers will be in play.
I didn't say that. I didn't go that far, because he was kind of like, I liked it, and I was like, I don't believe you. But if he would have been like, that's awesome, best movie ever, I definitely would have exercised veto powers
You're like,
in
all
the
right,
future.
Luke, when the kids go to bed, James, you need to come to our room. We need to have a talk.
Yeah.
The come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's awful. But anyways, we were talking about it, and we're like, you know what? Home Alone 1, I know it's a classic, and I know I watched it at a young age, but I keep, I've gone back to like the common sense media, like the breakdown of the content, and I'm like, I'm just not ready for my kids to kind of listen to some of the things they say.
Yeah.
The kids on the playground don't say some of that stuff. I know some of them do, and I know they're going to hear it in other ways, but I'm like, I'm just not ready to do that with a Christmas movie. But Home Alone 2 is actually cleaner. It has its moments. They definitely threaten to kill a child in it multiple times.
Yep.
But man, Joe Pesci and the other dude, they are so good at what they do. Like
Daniel Stern is the other dude.
Daniel Stern, thank you. I mean, from the beginning, their reintroduction in the second movie, when he's got like the tape around his hand and he sticks his hand in the coin, the collection
Salvation
coin
Army
jar, Salvation Army jar, and just picks it out and is just like, look,
We're the sticky bandits.
the sticky bandits. It's just like, I laughed out loud so much watching that movie. I had forgotten the jokes, the bits. A lot of it came back to me. A lot of it, I was just like, I do not remember this. And it just has a good message. And so, Mark, I am 100% behind you picking that as your number one Christmas movie.
It is super hot here.
Home Alone 2 was my number 2 movie.
I was just kidding. As your number 2 Christmas movie.
Yeah,
What was your number 1 again?
I personally like Home Alone 1 better.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But
That's
I
fair.
totally understand where you're coming from. It
No,
does have a lot
yeah.
more iffy stuff.
Yeah. No, and Home Alone 1 is classic. We like gave the kids the Wikipedia version of Home Alone 1 and like everything that happened, and just to give them context for Home Alone 2. And everybody loved, even, every single person in the family loved Home Alone 2. Now, another movie we watched, which was a new movie that I picked, was 8-Bit Christmas.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
Mark, you talked about this movie last year. I remember you talking about it and talking it up, and I totally wanted to watch it, and I just dropped the ball. This year, I was like, we're not dropping the ball. We were watching this movie, and I don't know if it's number one, but and it's just because it's new, and I don't want to give it kind of that that newness boost.
Yeah.
This could be my number one Christmas movie. Like,
Wow.
I loved this movie. I connected on every level to all the 80s shout outs, the just the different experiences he went through. Every single character in the movie was hilarious, from the huge bully that was like 10 years older than all the kids, even though he was in the same grade, which I had that same kid in my grade when I was in elementary school. So I just connected with this movie on so many levels. The rich kid that won't let anybody play, and then him like karate kicking the TV and injuring the dog, and just everything about this movie. The dad, the parents, the whole family dynamic, and by the end of the movie, I got hit in the feels. Like, I did not see that ending coming, and I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. You need to watch it if you grew up in the '80s. If you love to play Nintendo or Nintendo or whatever way your parents would call it back in the day, because they knew not what they were talking about, you owe it to yourself to watch this movie. Like, it's so good. So good. So love that. I give it a 10 out of 10. Like, I laughed so hard.
Whoa.
I will never look at SpaghettiOs the same again. Never. I mean, my family was losing it. I don't think they've ever seen someone throw up that much SpaghettiOs in their
I
life.
need to put that back on the list. I mean, I loved it when I watched it. I need to watch that again.
It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, I recommend you give it a rewatch, Mark, for your continued Christmas movie watching streak. But yeah, so
one more movie that I watched.
One more thing,
which I guess you could maybe kind of count it a little bit as a Christmas movie. We watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay, yeah, there's snow, and they talk about a land with endless
Santa's
winter, no Christmas or whatever. Yeah, Santa's in it. That's a Christmas movie. Yeah.
My wife's family just decided they wanted to watch it the other night.
Did you distinguish? Did you watch the British one or the Disney one?
The Disney one.
Yeah, I figured the British one's a little special at times.
Yeah, it's a little. The old BBC one's a little
rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Cool.
But proceed.
But yeah, so in terms of Christmas, we had a nice Christmas. This is probably the first like Christmas where all around it was just the four of us, and that's like counting the activities we did during the weekend, Christmas weekend, the presents. It was just based on us. Mindy's parents sent money for a little shopping spree, which we did the next day or yesterday. Yeah, the next day we did Christmas. Whatever the day after Christmas is called. Why isn't there a name for the day after Christmas? There's Christmas Eve.
It
Christmas,
is
post-Christmas.
Boxing Day.
It's International Nap Day.
Well, that too.
Oh, right.
Yep.
So yeah, International Nap Day was not that for us. We were at a mall for like 6 hours, too long, but it was fun, and we got some Funko Pops 50% off. It was awesome. This was one of them I got yesterday. Good old Boba Fett coming at you. Live from Brazil.
The Fett.
Oh, the Fett. Boba Fett. This Funko, way cooler than his show, but just saying, throwing that out there. But yeah, so in the gift department, I got some solid gifts and some enjoyable gifts this year, some special gifts from my kids and family. I got this old Funko Pop, which may look familiar to you, from my kids, old Raphael. So I got the Brazilian Raphael and the American Raphael edition. My son made me this toilet paper roll Funko Pop.
Nice.
James Co. Pop, Spider-Man. He made all of us one. Mindy got Captain America. Tasha got Iron Man. Actually, the Iron Man, let me grab it real quick.
Well, that is crafty.
The Iron Man's pretty solid.
That is pretty sweet.
Oh no, he needs to do that every
That's
year
some
now.
fine art.
Wait, he doesn't have his headphones back in. He needs to do that every year now. You should be like, hey, well, I want one more of those. I want. You should have you have a bookshelf right behind you, and I see there's a lot of space to have these.
There is,
So I think something that he should be doing.
Entire
It'd be awesome to have more every year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some TP roll pops, Funko DPRs, TP roll pops. That sounds gross. All right. Anyways, moving on. I better just turn out of the skid, right, Mark?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what else? Oh, they got me a Spider-Man water bottle. which is a high quality cork one, so that when you drop it, it doesn't make that awful ding sound that metal, high quality metal water bottles tend to have. But it's a good looking water bottle, if I say so myself. And then Mindy got me a Star Wars welcome mat, like that says "May the Force be with you" when you leave, and use the Force to enter when you're coming in. Like it has two phrases, one upside down to each other,
Okay.
so it reads different depending on if you're entering or leaving. So it's pretty cool. And she got me this little pig guy, since I am Lucas Ham Swisher.
Hey, old pigly.
It's funny.
Nice.
Earlier this year, I was talking to her about how my mom used to collect pigs. I was like, I have a pig ornament. I'm Ham. So I was like, I'd like to collect some pig stuff. Like that's what she used to do. I like finding a way to, just, it feels like I'm extending her memory and stuff. So
that's
got
a
Piggly
Beanie
here.
Baby. Goodness.
Yeah, Beanie Boo.
Can't believe they still make those.
They do. My kids love them. They've gotten them every year for the past 6 or 7 years. But yeah, so that is those are my gifts. Now for the kids, I was most excited because we finally got Tasha a fair amount of art supplies. I don't know if I've sent you guys some of her art, but she has been really improving in her art skills. And so we got her some sketchbooks, got her some super serious Fabergé egg pencils. I can't remember what it's called. Faber-Castell
Fine,
Fabergé egg pencils. I don't remember what it's called, but we got her these really cool pencils that she was geeking out over. So, yeah. And then for James, this one is the only one that I did the old fashioned running through a mall hunting for the perfect gift. And he had said he wanted a Hot Wheels track, and it took me back to being a kid again, because every kid wanted a Hot Wheels track when we were in elementary school. Those are the coolest. And I was like, I got to find a quality James style Hot Wheels track. And as always, as is tradition, it was the last place I looked, and it's a Hot Wheels track set where you can change the loops and move it around, and it's like a build. It's almost like a Lego, but it's not Lego, but it's Lego in the fact that you can build it differently every time, and you can buy sets that combine into one huge track.
Oh, nice.
And so it's something that he can build over the years and pretty much fill his room with track. And this one was cool because it had a double loop, and then at the end it had almost a little catapult that would then go in the basket, so you can make it a game. Can you get the car in the basket and make it fall in the basket? So it had a little extra challenge. I mean, he had mastered it within 10 minutes because that's just, kids. But yeah, it was super cool. So that was Christmas. In other parts of life, well, actually, you know what? Before I pop over to other aspects of life, gaming and other real life things, before I go ahead, joiners, you had some Christmas gifts headed your way, and you shared with us on that old Discord. And so we're going to read all about that right now. So Delvin Cox said he got this for Christmas. It's the special edition collection of all the Speed Racer series. I have the English and Japanese versions, as well as the sequel series, and the head talks. It's Speed Racer head. So
that's pretty sweet.
He's very angry, but that's cool that it talks. I like that little talking head. Can't go wrong with that. He loves Speed Racer. He also got a Lego Optimus Prime. Solid. Can't go wrong with old Optimus. So, either you guys Speed Racer fans back in the day at all?
Nope.
I watched it occasionally.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
we're happy for you.
I saw the Speed Racer live action movie with.
Yeah, that was very colorful.
James McAvoy or
no, it wasn't James
was that?
McAvoy.
No,
who was it? Hayden Christensen.
Nope.
Emily Birch.
Nope.
Emil.
There you go.
Emil. All right, we're on the right track. Emil Belushka.
Now we're using our fake names. Is that we're using fake names
Hirsch.
for
Hirsch? Yeah, I know there's a sh in there. Hirsch.
a sh. Got a bag of sh right here for you.
There's an Hirsch in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emil Hirsch. Yes.
Cool.
That's right.
Cool, cool,
yeah, I
cool,
saw
cool,
that
cool.
one.
All right. That's
Forgettable.
something. Yeah, well.
That was a thing.
Lord Zukor, he said, we draw names for extended family, so my wife and my dad hooked me up with this year. And by this, he means a tunic for the Nintendo Switch. Like you're going on a journey and you put like a tunic over the Switch so it keeps warm when you're playing it outside, or is that what they mean? All right, moving on.
Have a few laughs.
Let's see.
Huh?
Yeah, he got a sweet Legend of Zelda hat, and he also got a full French press coffee making kit. Look out!
Wait, did he post pictures of the Legend of Zelda hat?
He did. It's actually, when he says hat, he means beanie.
Oh,
Not a
okay,
hat with a bill or anything.
Yeah,
Nate,
right.
I got Legend of Zelda socks from my wife for
with your
Christmas.
powers combined, you cover your tick and your toe. So we need a tack item. It's gonna stick. I know it. Tic tac toe, head,
No,
stomach.
Stop trying to make fetch
Stomach,
happen.
tack, stomach. Oh, you're right. That does work better. Tick is your head, tack is stomach, and toe is your foot. Okay. Anyways, it's gonna work out.
Good night, everybody.
The last thing he said, my dad bought me a Lego X-wing and
Ooh.
a skill saw. Hashtag blessed. There you go.
Sweet deal.
Cool little
Oh wow, nice.
Lego X-wing. That's pretty sweet. French press stuff. Yeah, looking good. Like it. Does your wife? By the way, does your wife get you stocking stuffers as an adult?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
That's where the socks came from. They were a
Ooh.
stocking stuffer.
You had socks within a big sock. That's fun.
Yes.
That's very
Sockception.
Inception. Yeah, Sockception. We usually get just a bunch of different chocolates and candies. I got Ferrero Rocher. I can't say that right.
That's
Ferrero
it.
Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher. Yeah, I got that.
Ferrari.
I
Rochelle?
love that chocolate. So good. Oh, that just reminds me. I haven't eaten any yet. I need to get on that.
Yeah, my wife got me a bag of paydays in my stocking.
wow.
Snap.
Yes.
She does love you.
My wife got me a bag of Reese's cups. Little
Nice.
miniature.
Oh, we got Reese's cups too. That was a nice surprise. Mindy found a store that sells them at a decent price, and she hooked me up with a big stack of them.
I also got one of these.
Big old
in-
king size.
This
Ooh,
is
king
a king
size.
size. This is a huge guy.
That's as big as your head.
Big one, small one, some
Something as big as your head.
Three servings. It says 3 servings.
More like
Let
one.
me eat a third of this. Be back later. Breakfast,
Put that
lunch,
on
and
the
dinner.
box.
Yeah, you just have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, what'd you
Yeah,
have
if you
today?
wanna eat
Oh, I had
this-
a payday. Breakfast,
If you
lunch,
want,
and dinner.
if
my
you want
friend.
to know what the nutritional facts are, you have to know math first.
I'm out.
Yep.
Is there an item you guys? Oh, this is continuing Nate's question. Do you guys always have an item you look forward to in your chimney sock? His is always candy and underwear. Do you look forward to underwear? Is it like?
I mean,
Has it got cool like designs on the back or the butt? How do you say that? Like, how do you refer to the
backside.
backside? Yeah, like little animations.
That reminds me of
I
a
don't
meme that I saw online. Like, guys waiting for their new batch of underwear, and it's this dude staring, and he's in front of the Christmas tree, and you see like his underwear. He's like standing. His underwear is obviously like ripped to shreds. Like, it's basically insinuating that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's ripped, it's hanging by a string. I mean, it's got another year left.
I don't think I've ever gotten underwear in my stocking. Excuse me.
No, I've got
Your socking. You've got socks in your socking.
Yep. Yeah,
It's just
usually-
you got your socks hanging up next to your stocking.
Yep. Yeah, usually it's like little trinkets, candies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Socks.
My wife makes a family calendar, and she puts all the birthdays and all the anniversaries and all the things that are going on in the calendar. But then also on the top part of the calendar is just pictures from that month for the previous year. So that's what I always look forward to, that because I always have it up at my office at work, so I can just see what happened 12 months ago, what happened last January, February, so forth. It's really
Nice.
cool. I look forward
Yeah.
to that. That's the only thing that I want at Christmas time because I'm an adult, like I can pretty much buy whatever I want at the time.
Yeah.
We have that, luxury to be able to do that. So when it comes to Christmas time, I want it to be family oriented. And I love it.
Nice.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really anything I look forward to in the stocking. It's just, chocolates and candies. And I don't think I'm not much of a getting clothing for Christmas kind of guy. So I just, like you said, Patrick, just if I need it, I get it, or my wife orders it for me or picks it up for me and gives it to me on a normal day. So yeah. And then the last one is old Timmy Pollen. I got a DeWalt heater in a Viking sweatshirt.
A DeWalt heater. Did you put a picture about that with that? Is that
He
like
did not.
Is that
He
like a
just
hand?
wrote it.
Is that a face heater? You put it over your face while you're outside?
Yeah, that seems right.
That seems like not cool at all.
Or is it a portable heater? Is it like a jet fueled heater? Is it propane? I don't know. What is the DeWalt heater?
How long should we give Tim to answer? Should we stop now?
We'll give him 5 seconds to answer.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
No, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
It might
Thanks.
kind of look like this. I don't know. I don't know.
That's not what Tim said.
For those not watching,
Fair enough.
Mark just showed us a picture on his cell phone that maybe or maybe not was a DeWalt heater.
Yeah.
The
It's
world will never
possible.
know. It's possible.
Hey Tim, did it look like this?
Yeah.
No,
Tell
not
us.
at all. Okay, cool.
No? Okay. What do you do with that? Like you just heat stuff? Isn't that what a microwave and oven's for?
Well,
Like you just put
That's
stuff in the
how he makes his
microwave, put
eggs.
stuff in the oven.
He just puts it, turns it upside down, and then puts the skillet on top of it.
Yeah. Cook some eggs on a DeWalt heater. That's multitasking for you.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think it's a good idea.
You find different uses for the things around your house.
Exactly. But yeah, so Joiner, if you want to share even after the fact what you got for Christmas, hit us up. Twitter, Discord. I'm not doing, that stuff that I usually do.
he's not doing the full spiel.
I'm not even starting that. I just mentioned it because I can.
Yeah.
So find us
Fair
on
enough.
the socials. And the movie front, I watched Avatar 2.
And what did you think?
It was long.
Oh.
Okay, listen.
The long and short of it, it's long.
I'm going to just tell you that it was definitely a continuation of James Cameron's 2011 classic, 2010,
2009?
2009. Oh, geez.
1984.
It's been that long.
It's been so long. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was 2011.
Years.
Yeah, so it was like he made it. Like it looked great. It looked beautiful. But in terms of like the whole feel, I don't feel like his movies have like modernized, if that makes any sense. Like it feels like a 2010, 2011 movie. Like he just continued where he left off and he's still telling the same story. It's great. It's more Avatar. I loved Avatar. But it was kind of like a little bit of like National Geographic where you're just watching nature and there's no talking, or there's like sign language with subtitles underwater half the time. There was some good action. There was a heartfelt, is all about family. So that definitely put it up in my, it's automatic. It's cheating for me. Like if you're going to make it all about family, then of course I have to love it. And I did, but man, it was long. You could have cut out some swimming scenes and made it under 3 hours, easy. Instead, it was like 3 hours and 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't even think that's counting the credits. It was really long.
Wow.
Really, really long. I refused to take a drink in with me because I knew I would have to go to the bathroom multiple times if I did that. So I was prepped. It was
it sounds
movie.
like if you would have had to go to the bathroom, you would have missed like
Yeah.
birds chirping.
No,
Squirrels
this
running.
this is water, so it's more like birds gurgling.
Fish gurgling.
Fish gurgling, yeah. Not birds gurgling. What are birds doing underwater?
What kind of movie
Like,
did you watch? It's a torture movie.
They just kill birds and just to hold them under the water. I will say my favorite character was not a blue creature, was not a human. It was actually a sea creature. And I don't remember its name. I don't remember much about it, but it was my favorite character. It was like a rebel whale, but it wasn't a whale because it's on an alien planet. So they called him like Toucan or Tucson.
So this whale was like, "Don't tell me what to do."
It was. He was like, "Don't tell me what to do," and he just wrecked fools. Like at one point, he ripped off a dude's arm. Like it was awesome. So it had those highlight moments that were really fun.
Yeah, don't drown, birds. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, I will rip you apart. But yeah, so I watched that. That was fun. But yeah, I think that's the movie realm. We watched Infinity War and Endgame with the kids.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, those movies!
Gosh.
Those movies are so good, so good,
Mhm.
so good. I mean, it's just nothing. It's all downhill from here, and it's not because Phase 4 and the rest of the stuff has been bad. It's just it's so good. So it's fantastic.
Very awesome.
I mean, we were getting hyped. James is jumping up in the air, like all the stuff happening, and just so good. So yeah, we watched that. And then on the gaming front, honestly, I'm kind of going through a little bit of just nothing's really grabbing me. I'm playing a little bit here, a little bit there, playing games with the kids. Actually, that's kind of a lie. One game is grabbing me, but Patrick's already told me that if I talk about it too much more, he's going to disown me as his adopted
Something
brother.
that rhymes with
Oh,
Marble
Jesus.
Snap.
Yep. I've been playing so much Marble Snap. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so I don't really
If
have
you want
much
to
to
play
say
a
about it.
Marvel card game, there is a better one.
I do. It probably is better, but I don't know what it is, man. Like just this Marvel Snap, like getting new cards, getting variants, making my own builds. It's just I'm just loving it. So
They have that in Midnight Suns, except there's
I
so
know.
much more.
I believe it.
More
but
depth.
it's just it's I don't know. It's just it's I'll definitely get into it, but guess what? Marvel Snap is FREE free and I don't have to drop, as much money or any money. Actually I've
Fair.
dropped a little cuz I've invested cuz it was so good and cuz I've loved it so much. I have dropped a little bit on a season pass and that kind of jazz, but yeah, man, it's good stuff. So, but enough of that. Moving on to that's it. That's the end.
That's
it.
Moving on to the end.
Moving on to the end. I will say, going back to Marvel Snap real quick.
Shut up.
When they add the friends can play each other, you're playing me, Patrick. We're playing at least one round together.
I have it downloaded, so
I know.
whenever if friends want to play, I will oblige.
Yeah.
Oblige.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say it?
Oblige.
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 Oblige. Mary J. Oblige.
Yes.
Yes.
How that
wonder.
works. Yep.
Mhm.
I'm not and not toe. Is that her, right?
That
Mary
is
J.
not
Blige?
her at all.
I
That's
don't know
Dang it.
what that was.
that is Macy Gray.
Oh, Macy Gray. That's right. I'm terrible at that kind of stuff. So don't judge
That's why
me.
we got the Music Man on here.
That's right. That's
Set you
why
straight.
I am not the music man. Yeah, so that's it. You guys can check us out. Socials, 929 GMG guys. Yeah.
Check the show notes.
Check
For the link.
click the links. Yeah, linktree.com. That's not how it goes, but I don't
It
remember
is.
what it is.
Slash
Is it
the
linktree.com?
GMG
Oh,
pod.
yeah, slash the GMG pod. Yeah, that never mind. But what at some point, wasn't it like linktre.e.com
That's the shortened version of it.
Oh,
slash...
it's the
no,
worst.
forward pipe. Sorry.
That's right.
I misspoke.
Callback.
The old forward pipe. All right. Pat, Mark,
Yes.
in the spirit of Ronald Johansson, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners, go get your good morning this week. for what's left of 2022, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.
See you next year.
See you next year. 2023.